Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at another hydrogen fighter, and this one is called the FM-3 Ruiner Pirate Fighter, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a small combat vehicle that features only hydrogen thrusters, a couple of Gatling guns and one singular rocket launcher to blast your enemies with. It comes with a unique folding wings, which we can see on the top there. If I just go all the way down like that, there we go. And we have landing gear that sit at the very back of this thing. So when it comes to landing it, we'll need to come down and plop ourselves onto these landing gear. Yes, coming around to the front and pressing F10, we'll find it in the spawn menu. So finding the FM-3 Ruiner Pirate Fighter, there it is. This thing is 613 small blocks using the Wasteland DLC pack, but that DLC pack is optional. If you do not have it, then this ship will function perfectly fine. It'll just be missing a little bit of detail. So we'll give this a little thumbs up, come around to the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside. So at the very front here, this is what we get. We've got a bunch of cream and grey dirty armoured blocks that go all the way around this ship. Just behind that, we've got a fighter cockpit to control this thing and to blast our enemies with our weaponry, and a camera that sits just behind it in case our view is compromised. To the left and the right of that, we've got some Gatling guns to blast our enemies with, and if I was to come all the way around over to here, we do have some LCD screens telling us if our flaps are open or closed. So pressing number 4, that should open up, there we go, and they are now up. And on the opposite side, we've got our hydrogen usage, which will slowly tick down as we fly around. If I was to come all the way over to here and start to drop down, we do have our Wasteland DLC spotlight to light up the darkness, along with 4 more Gatling guns, a singular rocket launcher right there. As we move along the side here, we'll see our first of many hydrogen thrusters to push us around. Then moving all the way around to the side, we've got a large hydrogen tank to fuel everything, a few more small hydrogen thrusters, and we can see how our wings have been attached on via hinges. If I was to come up close to our little wings up here, we've got ourselves some decoys hidden around our barred window blocks, which is from the Wasteland DLC pack. So hopefully your enemies will target them rather than the main body of your ship, otherwise you might be left in small little pieces. Coming out of there and moving towards the back, we'll see our main thrust to push us around, which is going to be 2 large hydrogen thrusters, and we can see some landing gear right next to them. So like I said earlier, that's how we're going to plop ourselves down onto a grid once we're done with this. We do have a connector at the back there just in case it's a bit too difficult and you need to rely on something more traditional, and of course to load and unload goods, with 2 batteries sticking out the sides. We've also got a camera there, which is very useful when trying to land this thing, and we can see some good use of the wheel blocks, which is just dotted around there for some extra bits of decoration. If I was to drop down and come underneath, we're going to see even more hydrogen thrusters and some more tyres. These hydrogen thrusters right here are not enough to keep yourself balanced while on the Earth-like planet. You will very slowly come down to the ground to the point that you will not damage yourself, but it could be a bit of a problem if you wanted to just hover in place. There's our hydrogen tanks once again in clear view, and then moving all the way towards the front there, we can see the bottoms of our Gatling guns, and there's our spotlight shooting out the front. If we come up and above here past our fighter cockpit, we can see our LCD screens right at the very front there, a few more hydrogen thrusters, a couple more batteries hidden under some barred window blocks, and an antenna to make sure you can always find this thing if you ever lost it. Yes, that is a very brief look around the outside, and it does look fantastic with how it's been set up. What I'm going to do right now is just come out of here and move myself over to this handy little station right here and attempt to do the liftoff that is shown on the workshop page. So coming over to here and getting inside and bringing the free camera over as well, we're going to attempt to do the liftoff, deploy the flaps, and then fly away. We're going to undo our parking brakes, move forwards, tilt ourselves up, deploy our flaps, and away we go. It looks so nifty on the workshop page with how it's been done, and now my character is just going to fly off into the distance until I eventually press F. But anyway, into the cockpit and bringing up the HUD, this is what we get. Number 1 is going to be for our camera right next to our cockpit, where we can clearly see our hydrogen usage, so if we're not using the HUD, we've got our important stat in front of us. Number 2 is going to be for our Gatling guns at the very front here to fire them all together, with number 3 being our rocket launcher right below there. Number 4 is going to be for our flaps to deploy and to retract them all the way down. And number 5 is going to be our cruise control script. This script is basically what a lot of people set up with just general thrusters, where they turn off the front ones so that when we were to say start moving forwards, we then just cruise along at a constant speed. So moving forwards and then pressing number 5, I'll let go, and now we're just cruising along thanks to that script, where we're just trying to adjust ourselves a little bit to make sure we're not going wonky and to make sure we're staying at our constant speed, not going too fast, not going too slow. Number 6 is for our inertia tensor for our folding flaps. So in case there's a bit of a problem, we can activate that, and then when we press 4, it's going to be a lot slower, a lot safer, and we will get a little bit jutted around when it finally comes to a close and when it fully opens up. Number 7 is for our landing gear on and off at the back there. 8 is for our connector to lock and unlock it, and number 9 is for the camera at the back there, which is going to be bloody handy when trying to dock this thing. So flying this around, we're going to go forwards, and we got some fantastic speed coming out of those 2 hydrogen thrusters. Stopping as well is going to be identical because we've got 2 hydrogen thrusters pointing forwards and backwards. Moving left and moving right, we got some good speed with that. Going down and going up. Going down, we're a lot slower than everything else. Going up feels as fast as moving forwards and backwards. Wiggling my mouse around, this is what we get. We have basically no weight on this whatsoever, to the point that you may want to turn down the gyroscopes to add a bit of meat to the controls. So dropping them down to about 66%, we've now got a little bit of drag on here, but it's a bit more chunky with the controls and might be a bit better to fly around. Yes, as for that, there's not too much else to talk about, so what we can do is come over to this poor little station and start shooting it up with our Gatling guns. So moving all the way around over to here, I think I'm on the bottom of it. Yep, there we go. We need to come around to this side, move ourselves up, switch to our rocket launcher, and we can start blasting away these solar panels. We just get rid of that, that's now fully disconnected. We can do some lovely stuff with these weapons. Yes, to finish this video, let's just slam ourselves straight into there. There we go, that's a nice bit of damage, and, well, that's not going to be recoverable anytime soon. If you want to download and play around with the Ruiner Pirate Fighter, there will be a link to it in the description below, and there will also be a link to the Skybox I'm currently using. It is a rather pretty one. And it appears that this station is slowly moving away, because it doesn't have thrusters on it, it's just going to keep moving down until it eventually collides with an asteroid. Yes, as for that, that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with another one some point soon. Bye bye.